One thing to keep in mind when you're installing spark plugs, and I see this time and time again on motorcycles that are new to me. So this is an old Harley FXR with 40,000 miles. And here's the plug that is going to go in there. And here's a thread chaser. This is not a tap, it's a thread chaser. The threads are not as sharp. It's not going to cut any new threads. It's basically there to clean the threads out. So you can see that the number of threads is about the same on the plug and on the thread chaser. But because of this relief, the thread chaser can go deeper into the spark plug hole than the spark plug can. Let's check where our piston is. I'm just trying to see if it's far enough down not to interfere. So you can see as I'm sticking this little tube down there, I'm not feeling the top of the piston. So that means that the piston is recessed pretty far down. So without even putting anything on the threads, what I want to show you is this. Let's try to screw this thing in. So of course I'm doing this by hand very slowly. Now let's see what happens here. So as I'm turning the thread chaser in, it moves very easily, no problem at all. But as I get down to about where the spark plug would seat, something happens. And that something is resistance. So you can see right about now, I can't turn it anymore by hand at all. And that shouldn't be the case, because I should be able to just continue threading it. There's nothing stopping me from doing that, theoretically. But what that is carbon buildup in the last couple of threads of the spark plug hole. And what is the problem with that? First of all, you could have thread damage. As you're installing your spark plug, if the tip of the spark plug is resting against or pushing against that hard carbon buildup, you can damage your threads, number one. It can also reduce the amount of heat transfer that you get at the seat here, because you're not quite getting the contact that you should be getting because of the resistance here. You could have a compression leak here. And another thing that can happen is actually because you're not really stretching your threads properly and preloading, and there's no preload here, the spark plug can back out. So what you want to do is turn this thing in all the way, but at the same time, you want to be able to catch all the debris. So what I want to do is show you how I do it. And so if you've watched any of the other videos that I make, you probably know that I'm a big fan of anti-seize. At the same time, you have to be judicious as to where and how you use it, and it can actually cause more harm when you're doing spark plugs than good if you don't know what you're doing. But I don't want to talk about that right now. I just want to talk about how I would chase this, the threads in the spark plug hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some anti-seize compound into these grooves. And I'm putting it there so that this grease can catch all the debris. Just going to use the brush to spread all the anti-seize. Again, I want these grooves to be filled with anti-seize. So now we're going to insert it into the spark plug hole. Okay, so you can see it's you can see how smoothly it's going in until it's going to hit the carbon buildup in the last couple of threads. So that's the problem. When you're putting a spark plug in, you're not going to really get any indication that you have an issue. And it seems like the spark plug is seating at the end, but it's not. So now I'm actually going to use a little bit of leverage. So with some leverage, I can turn it through. So I'm going to back it off a little bit and do it again. So now I've cleared that obstruction. So there is no more resistance. So I'm going to back it out, and you can see I can do this by hand. So now let's look at the tip here. So all that carbon is now trapped in our grooves and has been cleared off the threads. It's not a bad idea to do this once in a while to avoid a bunch of issues that I mentioned earlier.